Hello, and thank you for joining us here on the Neutral Zone. I am Phil Milani, joined as always by my trusty sidekick, my partner in crime. Really, the best way to describe this person is my everything. It's at Eric Dalala.
Phil, it's lovely to spend Thanksgiving with you.
Yes, I would not want to spend it with anybody else except you.
That's why we're here and not with our families.
Exactly. I want to take this moment to wish NZ Nation a happy Thanksgiving.
Very happy Thanksgiving. Thank
Yes.
you. We're thankful for you.
You know, maybe you just had a nice meal, pop on the Neutral Zone, just relax. Maybe a nice half an hour here before dessert starts.
Yeah. Maybe you got the big screen TV. We know our friend Tom Agnetti.
Yep.
He's probably put it on the TV. Maybe his
Right in the
wife.
living room,
Maybe
yeah.
he and his wife just cooked a delicious meal for Thanksgiving, and now we're
part of the family.
exactly.
Let's just say it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, kids.
That was kind of like a Jim Nance.
Hello, friends.
Yeah.
Hello, kids.
Exactly.
You got the sweater vest and everything. This is we put on some of our finest our Thanksgiving quarter zips.
Yes. This is our Thanksgiving attire. Our favorite quarter zips.
Of course.
The nice thing about the quarter zip is like if you
Zips
get
down
a
one
little
quarter.
something on it, you can take it off and you still got the shirt underneath.
It's like a little for you. It's like a bib.
It's like a little bib. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric, one thing has been bothering me since our last edition of the Neutral Zone.
What's that?
And you doubled down on it on Twitter.
Oh.
And it's talking about some of your favorite Thanksgiving food choices.
Yep.
First of all, you like ham instead of turkey.
I do like ham. Turkey, dry. Unless you get the dark meat. I like dark meat turkey.
Yes.
White meat turkey, dry,
Well,
gross.
if it's cooked properly,
Terrible.
it's just tricky to cook it. You know,
It's terrible.
It is a leaner bird.
Who saw a turkey and was like, I want to eat that?
Well, it's got a lot of meat. That's why.
Yeah.
That's
And
why. It
feathers.
can feed a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's what's nice about the turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how many feathers a pig has? None.
None. Got it. That's why you like to stick with the ham.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. What else was bothering me? You liked the
Sweet potatoes?
sweet potato with marshmallow. I like sweet potatoes.
Yeah. I'll eat them without
like sweet
as well.
potatoes.
I just
You thought that would win more people over with
I
the
thought that
marshmallows?
was a nice, yeah.
Because you kind of said sweet potatoes, and then you're like, with marshmallows.
Obviously.
That's where you lost me.
Okay.
That's where you lost me. And then on top of that, and then you said cherry pie again.
Yeah, I'm not a not a huge pumpkin pie fan.
You could go apple, I suppose.
Yeah, but I like cherry pie.
Wow. That's more of like a summery
Oh, yeah.
dessert. if you
4th of
ask me.
July.
I do like cherry pie as well, but that's like a different season.
That's true.
You're kind of just all over the place with this Thanksgiving.
Maybe a little peach cobbler.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just like kind of all over. You like to fire up the grill and have a burger?
Exactly, yeah.
It's like you're all over
Smoke
the
a
place.
pork
It's kind of
shoulder
been
or
bothering
something.
me,
Yeah,
'cause I
there's
thought I
all-
knew you.
Well, I got to go get this turkey out of the oven pretty soon
Turkey?
so I can throw it away.
Oh, got it. Okay. Because I know that you've been known to fire up the smoker a little bit.
Naturally, yeah.
Yeah. But you don't want to do that with the turkey.
No.
Too much work.
Too much turkey.
Too much turkey. That could be a problem.
That could be bad.
I read a nice story today about John Madden.
Ham doesn't put you straight to sleep either.
Where do you stand on the turducken?
Oh.
Yeah, that's the turkey.
How does John Madden say it?
I don't know. I can't do a Madden.
Oh my God, that was terrible.
Yeah, I can't do a Madden. How does he say it?
I don't know. I was asking you.
He kind of,
Well, turducken. It's kind of like that a little bit.
Oh my! That was way worse than mine. Goodness
You just grumbled.
gracious. Yeah, like, we got the turkey here. You know, that's how he kind of talks. A little.
There's no way
That was
anyone's
much better than
still listening.
yours. I read a nice story about the first time he was introduced to the turducken.
Oh, yeah?
If you're of my age, Eric,
Old.
Thanksgiving, was synonymous with John Madden broadcasting, and then you had all the
Meeting the pilgrims, that sort of situation.
yeah, exactly.
If you're your age, yeah.
Yeah, but nowadays you just don't have you miss
That's
some,
true.
you miss a little something when John Madden's out there
Summerall.
doing the game. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then even Phil Simms had the iron. He had the pie that came down.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't have that same sort of tradition anymore.
They got the
Kinda
big
miss
turkey leg that you eat now, I think.
Do you think that you would like it if the Broncos played on Thanksgiving?
I do. I was wondering
Yeah.
if we were ever going to get there. I would like that because I think that there's something nice about being, like your family's all gathered together on the couch. You're putting the football on. Maybe you go outside at halftime to play a little pigskin game in the backyard. Two-hand touch, maybe tackle if you're feeling up for it.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of family.
Yeah, exactly. If you really don't like each other. But no, I think it's cool to be in that spotlight. It's a little bit different than primetime because you're just like, oh, like it's on in the background. It's relaxing. It feels like it goes with the holiday.
Yeah.
And then from a personal standpoint, Phil, if you get the game out of the way on Thanksgiving, you have the whole weekend to then spend with family and friends. Whereas, Phil, this weekend, we're just grinding.
We just work all the way
Just
through.
grind, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. We will be here, of course, all throughout the weekend.
Yes. Which for us is like being at home.
The Broncos haven't played on Thanksgiving that much.
A long time ago, I think.
What was it, 2009 was the last one? I think
in the 2000s.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. They haven't played in that spotlight. There is something nice about always watching the Lions, the Cowboys, and then, of course, now the primetime game, too. So,
yeah. Isn't it crazy to think that – got to make sure I do the math right. 1985, like from where we are now. I screwed that up. 1980 from where we are now. The same distance between 1980 and 2021 would get you all the way back to the 1930s if you went in the opposite direction.
Is that true?
Yeah, 41 years. That's wild. 1939.
Yeah, 1939. That is wild.
Makes you think.
Wow. Gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the kind of information you came here for.
Yeah, what did you come here for today?
Let's tell them what we're going to talk about on the show today.
I'd love to know.
A big game against the Chargers coming up for the Broncos on Sunday. Wondering what kind of team this Broncos team is going to look like when they come out on Sunday. Are we going to see a team that lined up and took it to the Cowboys? Or are we going to see the team that lined up and kind of got it taken to them by the Eagles? I'm wondering which team's going to show up.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that a little bit, and then just maybe what's on the line for this Broncos team here with 7 games to go, 5 of those games against division opponents. What's on the line for the Broncos on this one? And then we'll wrap up. We got some bold predictions probably, and then a couple of voicemails and such here to get to on this episode.
Perfect.
That sounds pretty nice. If you'd like to be a part of the show and have your voicemail played or your email read, 707-NEUTRAL. You just dial that number. You leave a voicemail right there. We'll play it on the air.
Yep.
And then neutralzoneshow@gmail.com. That's how you can leave an email. If you'd like, we still have some stickers too. So leave your address and we'll mail you out a sticker.
Mail them out every day.
You can also hit us up on Twitter at Eric Dalala with an A, at Phil Milani with a PH. Non-traditional spellings. Yeah, non-traditional spellings there. Or if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and smash the subscribe button and then also leave a comment because we always read those.
Of course.
Especially if it has to do with our quarter zips or even more personal than that, our hair.
Right.
So, all right, let's dive into our first topic here, Eric, and that is what kind of team are you expecting to see on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be somewhere between what you got against the Cowboys and what you got against the Eagles, and I think that's probably just what this team is. Somewhere in the middle of there. At times, I think they can play to the level they did against the Cowboys, especially defensively. And this Chargers defense isn't great against the run, so maybe you have a chance to kind of pound it a little bit on the ground. I think that's where the Broncos' advantage is. But I think they have to be a little more aggressive than they've been. You got to throw the ball down the field more. Against the Eagles, you really didn't do that much. Just one pass that traveled through the air more than 20 yards. Got to take some shots. You just paid Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick a lot of money. Use them. And then the other thing I think is that you've got to start fast. You can't fall behind. This team has not come back from, I have to look it up. I think a double-digit deficit this year. They haven't come back from at all. Yeah. And I don't think trailing at halftime they've come back either by any amount. It's just the team's not quite built for that. If you can stay with the Chargers, I think you've got a chance, especially something always seems to happen to these guys in the fourth quarter.
The Chargers tend to charger in Denver.
They do. There's been some weird games here.
The Broncos have scored, of course, last year, scored 21 points in the fourth quarter. On the very last play, as time expired, Drew Lock, KJ Hamler, touchdown, game over, Broncos win.
That happened. The Broncos have blocked a field goal here for the win in the past. Chargers have missed
Weird
a
things
field
have
goal for the win in the past. I mean, there's been some games here that you thought, how are the Broncos going to win this? And they did. Different coaching staff now, different quarterback. Something about Phillip Rivers' game kind of always.
Yeah,
like
and
he would
Von
just
Miller. Yeah, Phillip and Von.
Something about Phillip's game. It was like he would always let teams back in a little bit. So different cast of characters, but I do think if you can get off to a fast start and just kind of stay in this game, hang around, you'll give yourself a chance, maybe wear them down. And you could get a big win. And
in the games the Broncos have won, they've come out right off the bat and played really well. You know, maybe they've given up a touchdown, you know, here or there, but then they've always responded. They've always come back like in the second quarter and got back on the board and kept things really close. Or the defense comes out and makes a big play, something like that, always right off the bat. And I think that's how you could tell pretty early, I think, if this Broncos team has it or if they don't have it. And I'm just sort of curious what the reaction is coming off of a bye week here. You know, just because Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton, some guys after a big contract, they're more at ease. They don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. They could just focus on football. They go out and play great. Other guys, they're like, oh, I just got paid all this money. I got to really, they press a little bit too much. They try to do a little too much. They don't just let the game come to themselves. So I'm interested how those two in particular play. Then, you know, not sure if Bradley Chubb's going to be able to play, but if he's able to go, what kind of boost that gives the Broncos. And then just in general, you know, do they really believe that they're still in the mix here? Do they really feel like, okay, if we get this thing going and we just knock off a couple of these teams, can they make the playoffs? Is that the kind of team that they're going to come out and be like? Or are they kind of just going to be a little lackadaisical and just sort of see what happens? I want to know how fired up this team is. How much do they really believe in themselves? We'll know right away in that first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I think to go through a few of those, I think Cortland and Tim are the type of guys that's going to let them play free. They're going to come out. I don't think they're going to press. I think if you're Cortland Sutton, maybe it helps you play better because he is a guy that came off an injury, maybe was worried about his contract. They never admit to that sort of thing, but certainly if I were in Cortland's place, I could understand worrying about what's going to happen next. Am I going to get franchise tag? Am I going to go to the open market? You know what's going on now. Maybe that gives you some freedom, puts you at ease, lets you just go play. Not sure I'd expect a huge game from Bradley Chubb if he plays.
No.
But any sort of contribution would be helpful, especially in the run game. Bobby Massey could be back. He practiced on a limited basis this week, early in the week, so it's possible he's back. Baron Browning obviously could help against Austin Eckler. So you're going to have some more talented guys out there, which always helps. But I think the last point is the most interesting one is what's this team's mindset? Because coming off the Cowboys game, everyone was like, this is the type of team we could be. And they got pushed back to earth a little bit against the Eagles. Mm-hmm. And granted, it's a different system. That team runs the ball better than almost any team in the league. And so it's a physical game. You know, they run some interesting stuff with like the zone read.
And the Eagles
they're good.
They're
they've been playing well.
They've been playing well.
Yeah. Just beat a pretty good Saints team.
Yep.
Played the Chargers tight. So, yeah. Darius Slay playing well. So it'll be interesting to see, are they able to put that Eagles game behind them, or do they view the Cowboys game as kind of an aberration? And if they can put the Eagles game behind them, which they should, because I don't think that's as bad of a loss in retrospect as maybe people thought it was at the time, and it certainly looked worse because of that touchdown than it would have. But hopefully they come out and they say, hey, we played with the Cowboys. We were right in it with the Eagles. You know, we just beat Washington. Let's come out and win a game. And it'll be interesting, Phil, how the narrative changes. If they win this game, you've won 3 of the last 4, and now you're right there for the division lead. If you lose this game, then it becomes, since starting 3-0, you've gone 2-6.
Yeah.
Those are 3 of 4 versus losing, going 2-6 since the start of the season. One game kind of changes how you view it.
Let's get to our second point here then. That's what's on the line this weekend here for the Broncos, because we know 7 games left, 5 are divisional games. That means that everything the Broncos want is still in front of them. You know, they don't need like things to happen elsewhere. They control their own destiny. If they go out and take care of business against these divisional teams, everything else will take care of itself. But what exactly is on the line, Eric?
Yeah, so if the Broncos win this weekend, then next week's Sunday Night Football game in Kansas City will be for the division lead, because the Chiefs are 7-4 right now. No matter what the Chargers do, the Broncos would go in there at 6-5 with a win improved to 7-5 and knock the Chiefs to 7-5. The Broncos would have the tiebreak and take the AFC West lead, and it would be the latest in the season that the Broncos had that lead since they won in 2015. Because if you remember, they had the division lead in Week 10 in 2016 when they played the Chiefs, but of course the Chiefs won that game, went on to win the division. So
Christmas night game.
No. The overtime game in Denver.
Oh, before that, earlier in the year.
That's when they took over the lead in the division. So it's interesting to kind of view those two things. And Phil, honestly, winning the division might be the Broncos' best path to the playoffs, because I looked at the schedule and kind of some of these playoff odds and that sort of thing, and I thought 9 wins, in my opinion, is not going to do it.
Yeah,
there's too many AFC teams already with 6 wins, 5 wins. I don't think it's likely.
Yeah.
But then even if you get to 10 wins, like the Patriots are playing really well. There's all 4 teams in the AFC North are above 500.
Yeah.
The Chargers already have 6 wins. The Chiefs have 7 wins. 10. I'm not positive that 10 wins.
Yeah,
is
it's not
get
guaranteed. No.
And so if you can win some of these divisional games, say you win this week and you go to Arrowhead next week and you somehow pull the upset. I mean,
you're right back in it.
You've got the division lead. You've got a pair of winnable home games against Detroit and Cincinnati. And then you probably go into that final stretch of the season and say, hey, if we can get 2 of these, 2 of 3, or 1 of 3, we're going to be just right in it. And so, but I think these next 2 games, Phil, set the tone for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you
lose this weekend, I think it's going to be hard to convince yourself that you're still in it, and especially if you lose this weekend and next week, you've lost because to get to 10 wins, you have to go 5-2 the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So if you lose one right off the bat here, I think it's going to be hard to
harder.
Convince yourself that you're still in it.
But I think, Eric, if you told most people, like, hey, if the Broncos win the next two, they'll be first in the division, they'd be like, what? How's that possible? You know, but it's true. The Broncos sitting at 5-5, they're right in the thick of it here with the next 2 weeks. Everything's in front of them.
And they've proven, you know, by beating the Cowboys, they showed they can beat a team of the Chargers caliber. They can beat a team of the Chiefs caliber. I think the general sentiment is because most of the wins the Broncos have come against teams with losing records. It's hard, you know, like the Chargers, for example, are 6-5, I believe.
I think it's 6-4. They're just one game better than the Broncos,
right?
But they got a lot of talent.
Well, in the wins that they've beaten the Chiefs.
Yeah,
they played the Cowboys tight. I think they lost that game.
They did lose to the Cowboys.
They beat the
Steelers.
They beat some good teams.
Yeah,
and so then you look at the Broncos and you're like, well, with the exception of the Cowboys, none of these wins is that impressive. But then you think, well, Washington just beat Tampa Bay. I mean, we've seen it's a week-to-week league, very weird season. When I tweeted out that the Broncos, with a win this weekend, would be playing for first next week, people were like, well, that's not going to happen. Like if I had the lottery numbers, I'd win the lottery.
But this is very realistic.
Yeah, they've shown they can beat a team of this caliber.
Yeah, of course they can. I mean, they've beaten the Chargers last year, and then they're just one game better than the Broncos. So it's not like it's a crazy idea here. And gosh, that would be exciting next week to be able to talk about, like, hey, the division lead is on the line here. It's Sunday Night Football. I mean, there's a reason why NBC flexed the Broncos and Chiefs into that.
Yeah.
Of course, they want Patrick Mahomes on primetime TV, but there's the potential there for a big matchup in terms of standings.
And it's been interesting because the last 3, I'm not counting the bye, but the last 3 weeks, my opinion of this team has really changed drastically each week. You go after the Washington game where you're like, that was just not a good win, the way that it ended, the way that it looked, and you're thinking, how good is this team? You beat the Cowboys, you think everything's changed.
Really good.
You lose to the Eagles, and you think, wow, this is really not good. Then you watch the Eagles win a game over the bye week. So this is another one of those games that's going to change people's opinions of this team one way or another.
Yeah. And talking about some of these teams, you're like, it just kind of depends on when you play them,
Yeah.
Like the Raiders now seem like not that difficult of a game, but
Right.
earlier in the year, not the case. It just depends. Now the Chiefs seem really hot, and earlier in the year, not so much. So it just depends on.
Well, and who knows what happens with the division race, but if the Chiefs lock that up, maybe that Week 18 game in Denver doesn't become important to Kansas City.
Oh, and you knock them off then.
Yeah, so.
Well, yeah, you never know. But what I was kind of saying is maybe this is the time for the Broncos to get hot.
That could be nice.
Maybe. Huh?
Huh.
All right. You want to get to some bold predictions here?
Sure.
Okay. You got one on the offensive side of the ball.
On the offensive side of the ball, I think that Cortland Sutton will find the end zone this weekend.
Oh, okay.
That's not bold enough. Let's say Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton both find the end zone after signing new deals.
Okay, I like that. I was going to say something Sutton. I was going to say maybe like he has two plays.
Oh, yeah,
Sutton has 2 plays of 40 yards or more.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe one of those is like a pass interference, but it equals 40 yards.
I've always thought that's interesting. Like Cortland Sutton draws a 50-yard pass interference.
Oh, you think you should get those stats?
Yeah, you should get those yards. That's not
true.
fair.
Well, it is a penalty. I mean, he didn't actually do it.
But, he earned those yards.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not fair to me.
Yeah.
Like, if he gets face masked, he shouldn't get those yards.
No.
But
a PI.
But a PI, I think, should count.
Maybe like if it was a blatant PI.
Yeah. Like that.
It's interesting. Yeah.
That to me is not fair.
How about I put it this way? 2 deep shots to Cortland Sutton will result in 40 yards or more for the Broncos. I was going to say that.
Perfect.
So that's on offense. How about the defensive side of the ball? Defensive side of the ball.
Defensive side of the ball. I think Justin Simmons is going to stay hot.
Ooh.
I think another interception for Justin Simmons.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
4 in his last 4 games.
Yeah, he's on fire.
He's playing
with the
well.
Ball. Yeah.
And they need,
they need game-changing plays. Yeah. They need the defense to do something.
Herbert doesn't turn the ball over very much, but
I think he has 8 interceptions this year.
Yeah. I think they'll find a way to get one.
Teddy has 5.
Yeah.
Herbert has 8.
Wow.
Just saying.
Herbert's number 10 though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then
Teddy's number 5. So that makes sense.
Yeah, he's like, I look down, I see that number 5. That's how many interceptions I like to throw. So that's it. Yeah. I actually thought Teddy had thrown more than 5, and I looked it up, and I was like, only 5? It kind of feels like more.
3 against the Raiders.
Yeah, I was going to say that Raiders game.
1 against Cleveland.
Crazy. Yeah. And then I think the end of the Steelers game.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to say Austin Eckler, after scoring 4 touchdowns last week, does not find the end zone.
Ooh, that's bold.
Yeah, Austin Eckler does not find the end zone.
Wow.
That's my bold take.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Maybe Keenan Allen has a huge day, or Mike Williams.
Maybe.
I'm saying it's not going to be Austin Eckler.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and then now, how about a score prediction?
Oh, score prediction. I'll go 28-27 Broncos.
28, 1-point game.
1 point. I think it's gonna be just a nail biter.
Okay.
Maybe the Chargers. Chargers tend to have some kicking woes.
Ooh.
Maybe they miss an extra point at some point in the game.
That could just be the difference, right?
Kind of sets them off. And
what if they go for 2 and they don't get it? They're like we're here for the win. We're going for 2 and then they don't get it.
Yeah,
it could be something like that.
No, I don't think so. I think a missed extra point.
Okay. Early in the game or like later?
Just not like it wouldn't be like to tie. It would be like something earlier where now you're off
and then it
schedule.
Makes them pay.
Yeah.
It's one of those where you're like that could come back and get them, and then it does.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. They go for it on 4th down a lot. They've been. Vic Fangio was like, I would have gone for it too, and he's actually gone for it almost as much as the Chargers. They just go for it in what I would say are a little bit riskier situations. They'll do like a 4th and 8 or like a 4th and 10.
Yeah.
They're going for it like inside their own 35. I mean, they do some stuff that you're like, this is crazy. Maybe the Broncos can take advantage of one of those.
Vic has been aggressive in those situations. Where I'd like to see them be more aggressive is at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
When they get the ball back, let's try and score.
Yeah.
Let's not just be so cautious about everything there right at the end.
Tried to do that against the Ravens, and Teddy got concussed.
Yeah, but they were like, they needed a score in that situation. Yeah. They were down, I'm like, I want to take it to the opponent.
Got it.
That's what I'm talking about here. I think good teams score like right at the end of the half there. You can find some points in that area that are a little easier to come by.
Good teams score. You heard it here first.
They score that in like the last 2 minutes of the first half.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get that 2-for-1.
That's
you know,
nice.
you score there before the end of the half. You get the ball back in the
Eagles
third.
did it.
Boom. That's how you really separate the margins.
That's
get
the Tom Brady special.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, that's how they. And you're like, what? How are you down? 14. It's like that's how.
Yeah.
So I say 28 Broncos.
Okay.
21.
Ooh. Wow. Okay.
28-21.
No missed extra points.
No. Nope. And I think that the Chargers will find a way to charge her somehow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're like, how did the Chargers? That's how at the end of that, you're going to be like, I can't believe the Chargers lost that game.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's this sentiment that the Chargers are like unstoppable.
No.
I don't think that that's the case.
No. It'll be fun to see Staley go against Fangio, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like this term, getting Fangio'd?
I don't know what that means.
That's like what the Broncos did to the Cowboys.
Oh,
They're saying
got it.
that's where you get Fangio'd.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
That could have had a negative
No.
connotation.
That's
got
a
it.
positive.
It's positive.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
positive.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
You would never know
they
that
say-
reading Twitter.
They're like, oh, the Chiefs Fangio'd the Cowboys.
Oh,
They got Fangio'd again.
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I guess that's good.
It's possible, yeah. Okay, so those are our bold predictions. Shall we get to some emails, voicemails? Here, our friend Chris Campbell sent in a nice one. It says, thanks for the stickers.
Of course.
Some stickers of Chris, of course. Then he had some nice little subtleties that let you know that he's a big part of NZ Nation here. He says, I think Teddy is the kind of person that will bounce back after the Philly fumble. They spell fumble with PH, and then he said non-traditional spelling.
Nice.
Personally, I would like to see him more consistently throw the ball past the sticks on third down, or see the team decide to go for it on fourth down more often. We just talked about that. Checkdowns on third and long have a low probability of success, so you might as well just toss a 50-50 ball to Sutton, Patrick, or Judy. They literally catch everything. Sutton and Patrick have the most targets without a drop in the NFL. We'll have to look that up. Ben Swanson, maybe. Or take advantage of Teddy's high completion rate and go for it on fourth down when appropriate. Teddy's a good QB. Just ask AJ.
I like that.
Yeah. AJ is also a big part of NC
course.
Nation. So anybody who listens all the time. So, yeah. And he goes on to say that he liked the Sutton and Patrick deal. So
Yeah. I think this will be interesting from a fourth down standpoint because Vic Fangio obviously really respects Brandon Staley. He said a lot of nice things about him. Obviously, was very impressed with him right away.
Yeah.
But people love this like the mentee defeats the mentor storyline.
Oh.
I bet Vic Fangio really wants to beat Brandon Staley.
Of course he does. It's kind of like when Belichick's disciples.
Yeah, like you want to beat him and be like, I'm still the guy.
Yeah.
Like Brandon Staley, really nice guy, just incredible in press conferences. But the national media has kind of like hyped him up to where he's like the wonderkin, like the big new thing.
Yeah.
Vic Fangio, maybe he's got a little something to say about it.
Oh, got it.
It'll be, look a little something to say about it.
Yeah. Don't speak outside the family.
Exactly.
Got it.
But it'll be interesting. He'll have to be careful, I think. I wonder if against the Chargers you almost get tempted to like go for certain fourth downs that you wouldn't normally go for.
Ooh,
I'll be interested to see how that plays out. Like if you're facing fourth and 3,
and you're like, we got to score
at the
against
50.
this team. Field goals aren't going to beat the Chargers.
Well, and more like the Chargers would go for this. We should go for this.
Oh, give them some of their own medicine.
This could just be really interesting because they're playing against the defense that they see every single day in practice.
Exactly.
Broncos and Chargers, their offenses both went against this system.
Who executes it
every day in training camp?
Yeah.
Not going to be a lot of surprises, I don't think.
Our old friend CHJR coming to town.
That's true. Chris,
That's my old friend.
A. Reed Jr. Old friend.
Yeah. Speaking of AJ, here's a voicemail that he left this week.
Hey, thank you, this is AJ. Appreciate y'all taking my calls throughout the season. I just want to say, the spread's 3 against the Chargers, man. I mean, that's not that much. Vegas knows. Teddy is good, man. +3 against the Chargers, who's a pretty good team. That's a play here and there. That's why, that fumble Melvin Gordon had, Judy not running the right route. These plays matter, man. This is Teddy's, Cortland, Sutton's getting signed. Tim Patrick. Who made Tim Patrick good? who's the quarterback that made Tim Patrick good? His name's Teddy Bridgewater. Okay, and Teddy did it with Anderson. He does it with DJ Moore. They suck now. Curtis Samuel. He went to Washington, got a big contract because of Teddy. So hopefully Teddy gets a contract soon, but he's got to play good the next. This is, you get all the credit and all the blame. So, but a 3-point spread, it's telling you. And again, I want you guys to be clear. Like with Drew Lock, it's -9.5, or plus 9.5. And I would probably take the Chargers to cover -9.5 if Drew Lock was playing. But Teddy, plus 3.
AJ, you brought it once again.
We got
it
a lot.
Ends. He got so emotional that it just ended like that.
We get a lot of good voicemails from AJ. That might have been right at the top.
He loves Teddy Bridgewater more than maybe Teddy Bridgewater's mom.
Yeah, find someone who loves you like AJ loves Teddy Bridgewater.
Dude, who knew that Teddy Bridgewater is handing out contracts?
I know. I love that. Who made Tim Patrick good? I don't know if I don't think that's true, but
wow.
Those poor receivers that Teddy's left behind.
I know.
I just wonder if the Broncos don't re-sign Teddy, do you think we ever hear from AJ again?
I hope so. I hope that he's a friend of the.
Probably just hate.
Because Teddy Bridgewater was asked on Wednesday, "Hey, is your side talking to the Broncos?" Because it was after he had just talked about how happy he was for Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick. He said, "I don't want to get into that. I don't worry about that kind of stuff." And
he said he didn't know, and that he didn't really care right now.
Yeah, he said he's focused on playing football here, and of course, quarterback. That's like the most talked about thing in this city. 24/7, sports talk radio talk about quarterback. I think if Teddy Bridgewater got into that kind of stuff, he'd go crazy. So,
yeah.
But yeah, AJ. Wow.
I mean,
he took a shot at Drew Lock there, too. Because let's be fair, Drew Lock did beat the Chargers last year. So it looked really good in the fourth.
In the fourth, yeah.
Turn it on.
Yeah.
So, AJ, thank you very much. Good one. Our friend Tom Magnetti, it's Thanksgiving. Of course, he has to weigh in here.
Hey, guys. Tom Magnetti here. I've been missing the broadcast because you had to have some time off as well with your family, and I totally understand. But I wanted to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving. And privately, I need to know the address so I can send a not pecan pie to you guys to show my thanks. Also, I really feel like I need to have a direct line to George Payton so I can contact him and let him know that now that he's signed his two most important receivers to get the job, I need to have the people that deliver signed, and that would be you guys, always delivering. Thanks so much for everything you do, bringing the Broncos to me all the way in Delaware. I really appreciate that. It does make my week a lot better to have all that analysis and in-depth interviews and things like that. So I appreciate you guys. And, of course, Ben Swanson, and I forgot the girl's name from when I was there. Thankful for her as well. So thank you so much, and I wish you guys a happy holiday.
Tom, happy Thanksgiving as well. Roya Burton, of course.
Poor Roya.
Yeah, poor Roya. Everybody knows Ben Swanson because we always make fun of Ben Swanson.
Yeah.
But Roya, she brings it all the time.
We appreciate Roya too much to make fun of her like that.
Yeah. But, Tom, no pecan pie for us because I'm allergic to pecans.
Yeah.
You can have pecan pie.
At a solid area, I don't need it for you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Is it pecan pie or pecan pie?
Pecan, I think.
Pecan pie. That's when Harry met Sally.
Yeah.
Pecan pie.
I will say, you asked about our negotiations, Tom. Phil, you've been holding out for a bigger deal. You want
my
a lot
agent,
of. You want
I don't
a lot
like
of
to talk about money.
Yeah.
My agents take care of it.
Yeah. You want a lot of guaranteed money.
Yeah, in case something goes wrong.
Reset the market.
Like what if I wake up and my hair doesn't look right permanently?
They were like hometown discount. And you were like, not a chance.
No, I was like,
you were like, franchise tag me if you must.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was like, I want at least Sutton money.
I'm on one of those RFA deals, like the tenders.
You got tendered?
Yeah.
Have you ever signed a deal longer than 1 year?
No.
Because that was Tim Patrick.
I've never signed a deal longer than 1 day.
Yeah, wow.
Every day I got to prove myself.
Tim Patrick asked him, hey, how do you celebrate here?
Yeah.
What do you do? And he goes, I don't like to have fun in the season.
Yeah.
So
Just
he didn't
wins.
he said that Friday night they agreed to terms and everything. He just got hibachi. He got it delivered. And I was like, what? I was like, hibachi, the point of it is being there in person.
You got to toss something into your mouth.
He said they brought it to his house.
Did they do this? They do
No,
the
I
thing?
think it was just the food.
No volcano?
No volcano.
That's sad.
I was like, you really don't like to have fun.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Poor Tim.
I know. He's so focused, you know.
Yeah.
I think these undrafted guys, they get locked in. They get a certain way.
You
know what I mean?
I hope we just can always appreciate a nice hibachi volcano.
Yeah. I think that, like, these guys, like, all the undrafted guys I've ever been around, Chris Harris Jr., C.J. Anderson, these guys, no matter how good they get, they still have the same, they're, like, cut from the same cloth. Tim Patrick's the same way.
Yeah.
They just can't, like, give up that chip on their shoulder. Yeah. Do you think Tom should have a direct line to George Payton's?
No, I don't think so.
But
Maybe
if he was
Tom's-
going to bat for us,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
It could be good
We'll
for
talk
us.
about it,
Yeah.
Tom.
We bring it out to Delaware.
Yeah.
You know, we bring the news. That's what we do. All right. Anything else you want to say here?
I don't think so. Just happy Thanksgiving, Phil.
Shout outs to anybody?
Shout out to Liz Manis. Liz Gerald's. Sorry.
Yeah.
And our whole Neutral Zone Nation fam.
Yeah. I mean, the Broncos were out earlier this week handing out turkeys out at the stadium. I was there, Eric.
Yeah.
I think I saw you there.
I was in one of the turkeys, kind of like doing like a point of view situation thing.
See what it
What's
saw.
it like?
Yeah. You saw
Yeah,
you got a
behind the
big
scenes.
in-depth thing coming up.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Turkey time.
Good. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, happy Thanksgiving, Eric.
Thanks. You too.
Happy Thanksgiving to NZ Nation. I think that's going to do it for us. Go eat that pumpkin pie,
And ham.
pecan pie, and cherry. It's time for dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've had your ham.
Oh,
Now
I
it's
want
time
more
for
ham.
cherry pie.
Perfect.
It's disgusting. All right, that's going to do it for us. If you live in the Denver area, make sure you come out to Breckenridge Brewery's farmhouse
Trying to make it a farm home.
in Littleton off Santa Fe and
Brewery
Brewery
Lane.
Lane. We'll be there Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. Mountain Time, live out
on the
there.
dot.
On the dot. Or also live on the Broncos YouTube page. We'll be breaking down this Chargers game, everything you need to know about what happened. We'll talk to you about it. Then, until then, for Eric Dahl, I'm Phil Milani. You've been listening to
The Neutral Zone. Gobble, gobble.